Hey guys, this is Eliza and welcome back to a new video. So today is the first video of a new series here on my channel that'll be going for the month of December. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get them all out in December. Well, fingers crossed. But this series is called Top 8, so I'm going to be talking about my top 8 favorites in certain categories. Those categories include today's video, which is mystery thriller, which I combined together because I don't have enough books that I love that are just thriller or just mystery in the YA category, so that one's combined. I'm also doing a YA fantasy series and a YA fantasy standalone, as well as YA sci-fi, YA contemporary, YA diverse, so anything with LGBT, person of color, disability, any of those diversities, as well as adult books. And I'm also doing historical fiction, not just YA historical fiction, but just historical fiction as itself, because there is a few historical fiction books that I love that are adult, but I don't have enough just in the adult category to make a top 8, so I'm combining the two. So let's just jump straight on in. These are in no particular order, it is just a top 8. They're not like, you know, best to worst or anything like that, it's just top 8. So the first books I want to talk about is One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus. This was one of the first YA mysteries I actually read after joining like the booktube community. I'd nearly always read adult mystery because I was mainly reading like Hercule Poirot and such like that, but I really enjoyed this one. I did prefer One of Us is Lying to One of Us is Next. They're still both really good. Like I rated this one 4.5 stars and One of Us is Lying 5 stars, but I did enjoy One of Us is Lying a little bit more. So this is like high school setting. Basically these five kids have a detention together and only 4 of them make it out alive. So there's the mystery of who the hell killed the 5th kid, basically, and it's very reminiscent. Well, there's another book that I'm about to talk about is very reminiscent of this too, because again, a certain amount of people in a room, something mysterious is happening, they're all locked in, who did it type thing. I highly recommend giving this one a go, as well as Two Can Keep a Secret, which is also by Karen M. McManus. It didn't make it to this list as I enjoyed One of Us is Lying a little bit more, but Two Can Keep a Secret is also really good and it's not directly related to this series. It's set elsewhere with different characters and such. Next, I want to talk about Misfit City Volume 1 and 2. This is obviously a graphic novel series. This one is not, say, murder mystery, it is more just mysterious and they're trying to like find treasure. So there is a mystery of where the hell the treasure is. But this is just a fun adventure graphic novel. We have a wide, diverse range of characters. We have people of color as well as LGBT featured. And I just had so much fun reading this one. The illustrations are also super bright and really interesting. And I love these characters. There is a dog involved. Yeah, and I just loved the mystery. I loved learning about these characters. And I just had so much fun reading this. So yes, highly recommend this one if you're looking for an adventure mystery type graphic novel. So next we have the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. This one, of course, was going to make it to this list, and it is, yeah, it's my favorite out of this list. Easily my favorite. I have reread Truly Devious multiple times, and I will be definitely doing another reread of the entire series before book 4 comes out, The Box in the Woods, which is early next year. I think is it March, February or March or something like that, but I'm so keen. So this one is set at Ellingham Academy, and I love this setting. It's like up in the hills, it's like a school, but it's only for people that get accepted, so you have to have, you know, some special interest or like something that grabs the attention of the faculty to be able to actually enter the school. And this one also follows 2 timelines of mystery. So we have the original mystery, which is the mystery of the Ellingham family. So the mother and daughter was actually kidnapped and they were never found again. So there is that mystery, and you're kind of seeing bits of the past as well as the main character kind of reflecting on that mystery and trying to solve that. And then there's also a mystery in the present day when one of the kids gets killed. So we follow 2 different mysteries. I loved both of them. I think the Ellingham Academy one was really fascinating, and how the main character, you know, was discovering things about that even though it was like however many years ago. Both of them were really fascinating. I highly recommend picking up Truly Devious, and the series only gets better and better, and I'm so keen to see what is going to go down in The Box in the Woods. The next book will basically be someone else has like recruited the main character to solve another mystery that was like from years ago. So I'm so intrigued. I could read 100 books based on these characters. I'm so keen. So next we have Even If We Break, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the person's name because I'm just going to fuck it up. So you can see it on the screen. But this one is a YA thriller, and it's like, it's a little bit like horror, but it's mostly just like thrilling. But it's basically these group of teenagers go to this house to play like some game. I can't even remember what the name of it is. Anyway, so they go to this house to do this thing, and then some of them start disappearing and there's things go down and it gets creepy and they're trying to escape this house. This one is definitely more on the thriller side, and it was definitely thrilling. I was like edge of my seat, like what is gonna happen? Are these characters gonna be okay? Who else is gonna die next? What is going on? So yeah, it was intense, but I highly recommend it, and the audiobook was really good too. Like the narrator did it really well, so highly recommend the audiobook. Next we have All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban. This is the one that's slightly reminiscent of One of Us is Lying, because in this one, this group of characters, I don't know how many there was 5 of them, and they basically go to this scholarship dinner only to find out that it is a trap and they're locked in this room, and there is like, just hold on, let me read the synopsis before I say anything else because I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, someone has locked them in a room with a bomb, a syringe filled with poison, and a note saying they have an hour to pick someone to die or everyone dies. Yep, that's basically it. And like the reveal at the end of this one was just insane. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I was shocked. I literally had to like pause the audiobook and was like, okay, that was not what I was expecting. But yeah, it is really well written. It's really fascinating. I love the drama of it because like they are teenagers, like they're school kids. There's drama. I really enjoyed this one. Highly recommend it. Is one of my new favorites. And honestly, like I knew nothing going into this. Like I picked it up on a whim. Had not heard of it. Saw it was in the mystery thriller category. The cover looked intriguing. I picked it up and I was like super impressed. So next we have the Jacoby series by William Ritter. This is a YA mystery fantasy series. So the first book starts out like YA mystery, and then there's like a little bit of fantastical elements in the end, but like we get more and more fantasy with each book, and I loved it. There's like dragons and shit involved. It was amazing. But Jacoby really reminds me of Newt Scamander's character, like just like their persona kind of, and how they're really quirky and weird and everyone just thinks they're odd, but like they know what they're talking about. So I love that because I love Newt. But yeah, I also loved Jacoby. I loved Abigail as well, and this house that they live in, there's ghosts involved, and it's just awesome. I love this so much, and it just got more and more fantasy as it went on. There was still mystery involved in all of them. I don't think there was a mystery in the last one. Yeah, there's not really any mystery, based on the synopsis anyway, there's not really any mystery in the last one. It's more like the events, because of all these, this is now happening and they have to figure shit out. But honestly, the last one was so intense. I was so emotional reading that because I just love these characters so much, and it was like, what is gonna happen? Highly recommend Jacoby if you're looking for a fantasy with a mystery element. Personally, it's one of my favorite genres, is like the combination of mystery and fantasy, because they're two of my favorite things. So this one, definitely recommend. So second last, we have The Extraordinary Adventures of the Athena Club series by Theodora Goss. These have a really long fucking titles for no reason, but I love them. And also these covers are just like really interesting. There's like so much detail in them, and I love like this drawing style to them. I don't know, I just love them. And also, why is the second book huge? Like, I still don't understand why the second book is huge. Like, I mean, they're all really good, but like, why is it so big? But anyways, so this was another one that I kind of picked up on a whim. I was at my partner's place, I believe, and I was scrolling through Scribd, because at the time I was in a reading slump, so I didn't actually bring any books with me. And I was like, I actually feel like reading. So I went on Scribd, was looking through the ebooks, found this cover, which has always intrigued me. Like, I always kept seeing it on Scribd, but I'd never actually heard anything about it, and I never actually picked it up until then. And I was like fascinated by the cover and the name, and I picked it up and I loved it. If you were looking for a series that has a massive cast of like badass, really unique females, this is it. This is a YA mystery with fantasy elements, and it's just really fascinating. Like, I loved learning about this world. It's also unique. Like, there is some paranormal aspects that are similar to what is like the norm, you know, like vampires, werewolves, that type of thing, like that kind of paranormal. But then there's also like a whole other realm of paranormal in this, and I just loved it. And this is a like retelling kind of, because it does feature like Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson is like side characters in this. It's about Edward Hyde. The second book deals with the Whitechapel murders, and then the last one, Van Helsing, that's right. There's like, so each one like features people from, you know, common day, like real life. That was also really fascinating, but it also puts it in like a fantasy element, and I loved this series so much. I highly recommend this. This is not talked about enough. I've heard like literally no one recommending this, and you need to go and read this. I really want to do a reread of this, but like when I read it on ebook, like it was easy because I couldn't physically see it, but like this book is now intimidating to me. Like now that I see it in person, it is intimidating, because originally I read it as an ebook, but this is like 700 pages. Like this is scary. So, but I don't know if there's an audiobook, like, because I'd probably reread the audiobook first, because I love rereading it in a different format, because you like kind of notice things you didn't before. But I don't know if there's an audiobook or whether it's any good, so we'll see. Otherwise, I might just do a reread of that series because it was just so good. So last on this list is actually the most recent of my favorites, and that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So basically this one follows our main character who is at school one day, and this dude turns up and says that his grandfather has left her something in his will. Who, she doesn't know any of them. She doesn't know who this dude is. She doesn't know who the grandfather is, but she has been left something in the will, and she needs to come to their estate like right now to read the will, because it can't be read unless everyone in the will is there. And drama goes down, and like there's grandkids, and like they're not getting the money, she's getting the money. What the fuck is going on? Really fascinating. And it's basically learning the mystery of this family and why she is being left this money, and they kind of like think they figure it out at the end. But there's also a second book, so I'm like, I feel like there's more to it. Like I feel like that's not the answer, there's got to be something more. And there's a second book, so I don't know what's going to go down in the second book. I haven't read any synopsis or anything like that. I'm really intrigued. But the old dude who left her the money, he was also like obsessed with like playing games and stuff. So there's like all this mystery going on around these games. It's like secret passages, elaborate riddles, billions at stake, let the games begin, is what it says. So this gives me like Truly Devious vibes when it comes to like Ellingham Academy, and like Ellingham himself, who was like loved riddles and loved games and stuff like that. And so it gave me that vibe, which I loved, but also we had this other mystery of like, how does this person know her? Does she actually know him? Why is he leaving her millions? What is going on? So yeah, I loved that, but yeah, definitely highly recommend this one, and the audiobook for this one is also really good. The narrator did it really well, and I also love this like quote on the back. This isn't actually the synopsis, like the synopsis is here, but there's this quote on the back. It says, $46.2 million, I thought. My heart attacking my ribcage and my mouth sandpaper dry. Tobias Hawthorne was worth $46.2 million, and Tobias Hawthorne didn't leave everything to his grandsons. He didn't leave everything to his daughters. The math in this equation did not add up, and it couldn't add up. My brain ground to a halt, my ears rang. One by one, the other occupants of the room turned to stare at me. Fascinating. So that is my top 8 mystery thriller. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you will see another one very soon. I can't remember which one will be next, but I'm trying to post 2 a week. So we'll see how that goes. Just depends on schedule. Life is a little bit busy at the moment because it's coming up to the end of the year. We've got Christmas. Work is chaotic because we have like pool parties and carnivals and stuff like that happening. So we'll see how I go, but I am aiming for 2 a week. Also, over on my blog, I am participating in Blogmas, which, if you didn't know, basically you post 1 video a day for the 24 days leading up to Christmas. But I'm also going to try and post 1 video every day. One post, not video. 1 post on my blog every day for the entire month of December, because I have other ones that I want to go up, you know, like toward right at the end of the month. So I'm just doing every damn day. It's gonna be like Blogtober all over again, because Blogtober I did actually manage to post 1 post every day of October. So I'm aiming for that again. Yes. So this list will also be over on my blog, but also if you want to check out my other posts that are going up, some of them are Christmas related, most of them aren't Christmas related, they're just posts, because like, what Christmas like, I'm not reading Christmas related books. I don't know what Christmas related posts to make. So if there's a couple in there, sure, but they're not my aim. So anyways, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back very soon for my next video in this top 8 series.